This is the murder of Isaac, aka Ike Crawford, and how he was murdered. If you want to know more about this case, please continue watching.
You are watching Roll a Mile in My Shoes TV.
A month before his death on May 21st, 1948, Isaac Crawford of Augusta, Georgia, had been arrested for public drunkenness. He was sentenced to laboring in ditches at the Richmond County Stockade. While working in a ditch, he spotted a rattlesnake and asked Stockade warden David Turner to kill it. Turner refused to kill the snake, and when Crawford hesitated to return to the ditch to work, Turner began beating the prisoner with a stick. When that broke, Turner began using a rubber hose until Crawford's face and body were swollen and virtually unrecognizable. Turner was ultimately charged with 9 counts of assault and battery, but a grand jury refused to indict him for homicide. Turner was punished for Crawford's death with a $50 fine and 6 months of parole. And I think this is so dumb because, that really shows you how much a human life was worth back then. And just imagine all of this started because of a snake. And if the man didn't want to kill the snake, he could have at least taken a stick or something and removed the snake so that no one would be injured or bitten. But instead, he saw that this man, a prisoner, was being disobedient, I guess, to his orders. So instead of removing the snake that the man was afraid of, because that's all he was asking him to do so that he could go back into the ditch and work, this man decided to take a rubber hose and beat this man after the stick that he was using broke, and left this man basically unrecognizable, to somebody that I'm pretty sure had to identify his body later at the morgue to make sure that he was dead so they could, arrange for him to be, buried and laid to rest. Now, like I said previously, that shows you how much or how little a human or a African American human's life was worth back then, because this man, although he was charged with assault and battery, and he was only given a $50 fine and parole. They could have done a little bit more than give him a $50 fine. They could have at least made the fine like $1,000, and then, maybe given him at least 30 days in jail. That would have been better than what he actually got. But yet again, this is a, white man who back then was considered to be superior to a black man or a black person, whether it be a man or a woman. And so since he was the warden of the jail, then he was basically, I guess considered, the king of what I say goes. And when he saw a black man being quote unquote disobedient to his orders, he decided to, instead of, asking or honoring the man request by removing the snake, he decided to beat this man to death with a rubber hose, which, that's not right. But that shows you how far we've come and how much further we have to go. Because, I mean, this was back in the 1940s, of course, and here we are in 2022, and we're still dealing with this kind of thing where people are dying in jail or being transported to jail. They're being, thrown out of police cars because of a careless mistake that's made by an officer. But a lot of times, I don't believe that these things are careless mistakes. As in this case here, we know this was intentional and not careless. I mean, think about it. This man had ample enough time to stop. He could have even just not even, done this and just said, get back in the ditch, even though, Crawford hesitated because of the snake being there. And I don't know what kind of snake this was, so I'm not sure if it's poisonous, but me being the kind of person I am, I don't do bugs, I don't do snakes, I don't do any animal unless it's a cat or a dog or a fish. If it's any other kind of animal, count me out, because that's not something that I'm willing to take a chance on. So I can honestly say I can see his point of view. He probably didn't know if the snake was poisonous or not, and he didn't want to take the chance. I mean, I can understand that. But, sadly, this cost this man his life, which it should not have come to that, because, everybody, no matter the color of your skin, we all have fears. We all are afraid of something, whether it be a bug or anything, animal or whatever. We all have our fears when it comes to something, because we're all human, but I don't think this man should have lost his life over this, and I think, considering what he did, Turner, the warden, he got off pretty easy, as I said earlier, and I think that, he should have gotten a lot harsher punishment than what he received. But if you guys like this video, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one.